The anacondas reign, patience and power. This is the world of the anaconda, a creature built not for speed, but for patience, not for spectacle, but for inevitability. In these waters, survival is not decided by who moves first, but for inevitability. In these waters, survival is not decided by who moves first, but by who n. Nothing breaks the surface, no ripples, no movement. To the untrained eye, this place feels empty. It isn't. Beneath that still water, coiled in shadows where light barely reaches, lies one of the most misunderstood predators on Earth. It does not chase, it does not roar, it does not warn. It waits. This is the world of the anaconda, a creature built not for speed, but for patience, not for spectacle, but for inevitability. In these waters, survival is not decided by who moves first, but by who notices last. The anaconda does not dominate the rainforest by force alone. It dominates by understanding time. The environment shapes everything about its lifestyle. During the rainy season, the land disappears under water. Forest floors become submerged highways. Trees rise straight out of the flood like pillars. Fish, mammals, reptiles, and birds are forced into unfamiliar territory. For most animals, flooding is chaos. For the anaconda, it is opportunity. Water supports its massive body. On land, movement is slow and costly. In water, the anaconda becomes weightless, silent, effortless. Its muscles move with precision, pushing against currents without disturbance. Every ripple is measured, every shift is deliberate. The stakes here are constant. Visibility is limited. Sound travels differently. Prey often has seconds, not minutes, to react. One mistake in this environment is not corrected, it is punished. The anaconda's lifestyle revolves around this reality. It is not a daily hunter. It does not need to be. Its metabolism is slow, efficient. A single large meal can sustain it for weeks, sometimes longer. This frees it from urgency. Where other predators must act quickly, the anaconda can afford to wait, and waiting is where it excels. There is no hierarchy in the way mammals understand it. Anacondas are solitary. They do not form packs. They do not defend territory aggressively. Their interactions are limited, purposeful, and often brief. The only time their paths truly intersect is during breeding season, when multiple males follow the scent trail of a larger female. Even then, conflict is rare. Competition is subtle. Persistence matters more than aggression. The female anaconda dominates not through violence, but through scale. She is larger, heavier, more powerful than any male. Her body is a living fortress. When mating occurs, it is not dramatic. It is prolonged, quiet, and physically demanding. Outside of that season, anacondas exist alone. Their days blur together in stillness. Coiled beneath overhanging roots, draped along submerged logs, pressed into mud banks, where body heat blends with the environment. They do not need to move often, but when they do, it is with intention. Their senses are tuned to subtle changes. Vibrations in water, shifts in pressure, the faint displacement caused by an animal stepping into a river to drink. The anaconda does not rely heavily on sight. In murky water, vision is unreliable. Instead, it reads the environment through touch and chemical signals. A warning sign is rarely dramatic. It might be a pause in bird calls, a sudden stillness among fish, a pattern of ripples that does not match the current. These are the moments where tension begins to rise. For prey, this is where mistakes are made. A capybara wades into shallow water, unaware that the submerged log beside it is alive. A deer lowers its head to drink, exposing its neck. A caiman floats too close, confident in its armor. The anaconda does not rush. Its body aligns. Muscles tighten. The strike, when it happens, is explosive and brief. There is no prolonged struggle at first. The anaconda clamps down, anchoring itself. Then the coils follow, one after another. Each tightening breath steals air. Blood flow slows. Resistance fades. This is not chaos. It is controlled suffocation. The turning point is always silent. Once the prey stops moving, the anaconda does not celebrate. It does not linger. It begins the slow process of consumption, jaws stretching beyond what seems possible, ligaments allowing the skull to widen. Swallowing is laborious, vulnerable. During this time, the anaconda is exposed. This is one of the few moments in its lifestyle where danger increases. Other predators may approach. Jaguars, in particular, pose a serious threat. They understand the risk window. They know when an anaconda is occupied. A full anaconda cannot move quickly. Its body temperature drops. Digestion demands energy. This is why the anaconda chooses feeding locations carefully. Deep water, dense cover, places where approach routes are limited. Even after feeding, the consequences linger. For days, sometimes weeks, the anaconda will barely move. Digestion is slow and intense. Its body becomes heavy, distended. Movement would waste energy and invite danger. Instead, it retreats further into concealment. This extended stillness is not weakness, it is strategy. But the lifestyle of an anaconda is not without cost. Flood cycles change. Droughts shrink waterways. What was once deep cover becomes exposed mud. Prey disperses. Competition increases. In dry seasons, anacondas may be forced to travel over land, moving between shrinking pools. This is when vulnerability peaks. On land, the anaconda is powerful but awkward. Its mass becomes a liability. Movement draws attention. Heat builds quickly. Predators that would avoid it in water may challenge it here. These journeys are dangerous, but necessary. Some do not survive them. Young anacondas face even harsher odds. From the moment they are born, fully independent and measuring several feet long, they are prey. Birds, mammals, fish, even larger snakes target them. There is no parental protection. Survival depends on immediate concealment and instinct. Most do not reach adulthood. Those that do carry scars, evidence of encounters survived, missing scales, healed wounds. Each mark is a lesson written into muscle memory. Anacondas learn not through training, but through consequence. They learn which banks collapse under weight, which prey fights harder than expected, which areas attract human presence. Boats, nets, and noise represent threats they cannot overpower. Human encounters rarely end well for the snake. Fear drives reaction. Size invites exaggeration. Many anacondas are killed not because they pose immediate danger, but because they exist too close to people. This pressure forces them into deeper, less accessible habitats, altering movement patterns and feeding behavior. Even apex predators adapt under pressure. Despite their reputation, attacks on humans are extremely rare. Humans are not ideal prey. They are unpredictable, noisy, and often defended by groups. The anaconda's lifestyle favors certainty, not risk. It chooses efficiency over bravado. As seasons pass, the anaconda's life becomes a cycle of waiting, striking, digesting, and disappearing. It does not age gracefully. Growth slows. Movements become more deliberate. Risks are calculated even more carefully. Old anacondas do not die dramatically. They fade. Hunger increases as prey becomes harder to subdue. Injuries heal slower. Eventually, weakness invites attack or starvation. The ecosystem absorbs them quietly. What remains is influence. The presence of an anaconda shapes behavior across the environment. Prey alters drinking patterns. Other predators adjust territories. Balance shifts subtly, invisibly. This is the deeper truth of the anaconda's lifestyle. It is not defined by constant action, but by constant awareness. Not by dominance displays, but by control of space and time. The anaconda does not need to be seen to be effective. In fact, being seen is failure. Its power lies in absence. In the unseen coil beneath the water. In the silence before movement. In the knowledge that danger does not announce itself. When the river surface remains undisturbed, when the swamp feels empty, that is when the anaconda is most present. Because in this world, survival does not belong to the loudest predator. It belongs to the one that waits longest. And long after the ripples fade, long after the prey is gone, the anaconda remains, coiled once more into stillness, becoming part of the water itself, watching, waiting,